Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. New tonight, Spokane Valley firefighters battle an RV fire tonight. Take a look at what happened on Sprague Avenue, just east of Sullivan, right behind Jacobs Upholstery, just before 8 o'clock tonight. According to Spokane Valley firefighters, crews found the RV fully engulfed in flames. They managed to knock it down pretty quickly, they said. Fire officials say that RV is a total loss and there was some damage to the outside wall of the building right next to it. The cause of that fire remains under investigation tonight. Also new tonight, a Post Falls man died on Lake Coeur d'Alene today after a sailboat washed ashore without him. According to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to the Higgins Point Day area at around 5 tonight. Deputies say they quickly found the man identified as 82-year-old John Maurice Ryan of Post Falls, face down in the water. He was already dead, they say, when authorities found him. The sheriff's office says it appears he was the only person on board the sailboat. Now to some continuing coverage tonight on the arrest of a suspected arsonist. Police believe 53-year-old Vicki Smith's behind a series of fires in the West Hills neighborhood last week. Those fires forced people to evacuate and threatened dozens of homes. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk has reaction tonight.
Police have not said how this 53-year-old woman became a suspect, but they had enough evidence to make an arrest. Tonight, West Hills residents are relieved and still thankful that these fires burned through trees and not homes. 53-year-old Vicki Smith was arrested this morning 280 miles away in Tukwila. Police believe she intentionally set off multiple fires last week in the West Hills neighborhood. Authorities are also confident Smith is behind this graffiti threatening to burn down Spokane. It was discovered hours before the fires.
Relieving at this point. I think it's shared throughout West Hills neighborhood.
West Hills Neighborhood Council Chair William Hagee doesn't understand why someone would intentionally put people's lives and property at risk.
So in addition to the residents that were immediately evacuated, including myself and elderly family members, it was a really chaotic time.
My whole world changed when I got the phone call.
Fire Chief Brian Schaefer says he's proud of all the firefighters that responded that day and the small team of investigators.
That was done exceptionally quickly considering all of the data that they had between all of the emails, 911 and 311 or crime check calls, as well as the forensic evidence.
Tonight, we're learning more about suspect Vicki Smith, a convicted felon who pleaded guilty years ago to second-degree assault. According to her 2020 pretrial report, Smith said she had lived in Spokane her entire life, but had been homeless the last 11 years. Smith is now charged with 3 counts of arson in the first degree. Smith is in the King County Jail tonight. She'll have to be extradited back to Spokane from Seattle, and it's unclear how long that process will take. Reporting in West Spokane tonight, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
What we saw was likely the largest natural disaster in Hawaii's state history.
That was Hawaii's Governor Josh Green speaking about the devastation in Hawaii tonight. At least 53 people have been killed after wildfires tore a destructive path across Maui this week. An unknown number remain missing tonight. President Joe Biden approved a major disaster declaration for Hawaii. Maui County officials say the fire near the historic town of Lahaina is about 80% contained tonight. The Coast Guard rescued 17 people who ran into the ocean to escape the flames.
Woke up this morning and got on our phones to pictures of our house just down to the slab.
Traveling in Utah, President Biden pledged that federal disaster aid for Maui will bring help to those who need it, and Oahu officials were busy preparing the Hawaii Convention Center in Honolulu to shelter up to 4,000 people displaced by the wildfires. Volunteers from across the Northwest are stepping up now, even flying to Hawaii to help. The Red Cross Northwest region tells us 18 volunteers are now part of that effort. 6 of them will be traveling to Maui over the next few days. They'll be providing food, water, shelter, and emotional support to victims of the wildfires. But the Red Cross is also opening up a massive new virtual effort to help reconnect families.
A huge part of what's happening right now, we have a lot of families who are looking to get in touch with loved ones in Hawaii. And so we have a reunification call center that has opened up. So those volunteers who are helping virtually are helping with that reunification cases and getting people in contact with their loved ones.
There are ways you can help right now as well. You can donate $10 right now by texting the word Red Cross to the number 90999. That money will go straight to disaster relief, or you can go to redcross.org for more information on ways to help. All right, let's talk weather. We had a small break from the heat today, but those temperatures look to inch back up this weekend. Let's check in right now with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, we're not talking just warm, we're talking really hot in the coming days.
Yeah, it's kind of wild the way this all works out, especially after a little bit of cooler weather and some rain moving through. Past few nights, we've been talking about those temps quite a bit because they are dropping. We sit at 71 right now, but the dew point of 42 and clear skies overhead and wind calming down, all of that tells me we're going to drop even more. But in the days to come, the ridge sitting off the coast winds up building in, and what that does for us is it brings us that next potential round of storms. Well, not round of storms, round of heat. Good grief. All right, let's talk it. Because tonight winds up being one of the cooler ones. Mid-50s in Spokane and across much of the inland Northwest. Down in the 40s, Deer Park, Newport up into Sandpoint. That's looking kind of nice. By tomorrow afternoon, our temperatures climb. We're in the mid-80s. Enjoy it, because Saturday, we're in the upper 80s. And it gets even warmer heading into Sunday. Widespread 90s across much of the inland Northwest. We're talking some serious summer heat. And believe it or not, it gets even hotter from there.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you very much, Jeremy. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The trial continued into a fourth day today for two members of the white nationalist group, the Patriot Front. They are accused of planning to violently disrupt a pride event in Coeur d'Alene last year. 31 people were arrested after police found them in the back of a U-Haul truck. 5 members of the group were already tried and convicted last month for conspiracy to riot. They were sentenced to 5 days in jail and a year of unsupervised probation. The town of Spirit Lake has a new addition to its depleted police department. Last night, the city council appointed Michael Moreland to serve as police chief. As our news partners with the Coeur d'Alene Press report, Moreland will begin hiring police officers for the department, which has 7 vacant positions out of 8 total. Moreland has 18 years of experience in the military and has previously served with the Los Angeles Police Department and most recently with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Well, we are now learning more about a popular Spokane club shutting down at the end of August. In a Facebook post, the Lucky You Lounge announced it'll be closing its doors. The club's owner went on to thank his staff for their work. In its 4 years of business, the club on the West Sunset Boulevard was a staple for live music and other forms of entertainment in Spokane. Anyone who has purchased tickets beyond August can head on over to the club's official website for updates on when and where those shows will now be taking place. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone.